What is going on, folks? Happy Friday. It is the eve of Notre Dame Clemson. It's a 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff that you can find on NBC. I'm Mike Singer. He's Tim High. We're going to run through our final thoughts, observations, and prediction before this tilt. A number 4 Clemson team per the college football playoff rankings, and an unranked 5-3 Fighting Irish team coming off of a road win at Syracuse. A number 16 team, I believe it was, in the rankings last week. So we're going to go through Tim Hyde's 3 keys to the game. And first, Tim, it's a heavyweight battle between Notre Dame's offensive line and Clemson's defensive line. Obviously, that Irish offensive line just manhandled Syracuse last week. It's going to be a much different opposition that Clemson that the Irish face in Clemson. And I do believe that heavyweight battle, that's something you took right from Marcus Freeman's mouth.
Oh, did he mention? I don't remember that.
He did. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Go Coach Freeman. But I mentioned it because this is the NFL matchup in this game. So when you got a top 5 team coming to town, you know, who are those NFL dudes? And their NFL dudes is that front 4. That front 4 is legit. They're loaded with NFL players. They're loaded with nationally ranked top 10 guys. They're 7th in the country in tackles for loss. Their rushing defense is also top 10. They are some dudes up front, Mike. But on top of that, you don't have a heavyweight battle unless you got the other side, and that's Notre Dame's offensive line. They have vastly improved since the first 2 games. I think we could just throw those first 2 games out when you're looking at this Notre Dame O-line and the way they've progressed. You know, they went from 101st rushing. Now they're in the 30s when it comes to rushing offense. They're physical. Joe Alt is the number 1 ranked offensive tackle in the country per Pro Football Focus. You got Jared Patterson, obviously he's going to be in the NFL, the ever-improving Blake Fisher. This is a battle, and it is going to be one, I think, every NFL scout, there's going to be a lot of them there, and they're going to be watching the heck out of these, front 5 and the front 4 going after each other. So this is one to watch just afterward when you're breaking down the film afterwards, all the fans out there. Enjoy the one-on-one matchups out there.
Yeah, so what Marcus Freeman said exactly was – it's not David versus Goliath. This is a heavyweight fight. So I thought you were pulling a Marcus Freeman quote, but you and Marcus Freeman, that's just how you guys are. You're just,
I love it.
That's pals and think the same thing. Key number 2, Notre Dame's defensive red zone woes. And Tim, I want to say this is a recurring theme that we've talked about in most of these games.
Yes, Mike. And we have mentioned it the last couple of weeks because it was something that's starting to to rear its ugly head, as they say. Even, Syracuse last week got in the red zone 3 times, 3 touchdowns. Notre Dame is ranked 130th in the country in red zone defense, meaning once you cross the red zone, you score. The only team worse than Notre Dame is Rutgers. And Notre Dame's got to get out of that sentence, with Rutgers when you're talking about red zone defense, which is interesting because they're in the top tier in the country in not allowing teams into the red zone, which is crazy when you think about it, how they're dominating until you get to the 19-yard line, and then it's everyone scores. So Notre Dame is playing really good football, statistically really good football. 3rd down defense, Mike, we talked about that a couple weeks ago, how Notre Dame has been a top 10 unit with Clark Lee, Marcus Freeman last year. They're in the 70s. And then the way they've played the last couple of weeks, now they're in the, the top 1/3 in the nation in 3rd down defense, ranked in the 30s on 3rd down. So it's that red zone. And the scary thing in this game is Clemson. It's only 2 teams ranked ahead of Clemson. Clemson's number 3 in red zone offense. It's Tennessee and Georgia. So Clemson is up there with the 2 big boys in the country when it comes to scoring touchdowns once you cross the 20. So if Notre Dame could hold them to some field goals, give them some life, huge victory for Notre Dame if they could do that in this game.
That's some pretty good research there from Mr. Hyde. Key number 3, Mr. Pine. Not a surprise here. It's the quarterback position. It's a biggie, as Tim Hyde would say. Then you talk about Drew Pine.
Yeah, no, we talked about him a couple weeks ago. Here he was completing his passing efficiency was, top 20 in the country. Completion percentage was up there. He was, number 1 ranked Notre Dame player of all time in completion percentage and efficiency after 3 starts. And then the last 3, you're 50% and less, which is obviously not cutting it, but it hasn't been all on him. And Coach Freeman's talked about that in his Monday pressers, where it's other guys. Tyler Horka posted the other day, like one of his incompletions, Diggs is falling back, pass protecting into Pine, where he had to overthrow a Michael Mayer who's wide open on an out route. Pine gets blamed for that, but the running back stepping backwards on pass pro. The drops we've seen, which has killed his completion percentage, drives, touchdowns. So, but at the same time, Pine has been very inefficient. So if he could somehow, Mike, and all the blue and gold fans out there, find a medium ground between that 72 and that 48, get right there in the middle. Notre Dame, I mean, if he's 60+% in this game, they're going to win, because that means he's
Really?
I think so. I mean, when you're late, if he's in the 60s, like 65%, and that's completing the ball, that's moving chains, I think that's a big thing. When I look at this Clemson pass defense, the biggie on the pass defense is 40+ pass breakups. Insane, their playmaking ability in the back. So I think Pine has to get in the mid 60s for Notre Dame to win this football game.
I don't think you mean that, because that would mean 13 of 20. I mean, come on. He could go 13 of 20.
Now he's been 9 for 20. See, now he's been 9 for 20. I'll take it. So, but I hear you, Mike.
All right, score prediction time. And of course, we will start by going to the trusty OddsShark. And folks, please do hit that thumbs up on this video. Help support what we're doing here at blueandgold.com. Always like to mention that. Their algorithm's going, and of course, it's been impeccable this season. I mean, the OddsShark it's been great. Do you remember what they picked last week, Tim, in the Syracuse game?
They had Notre Dame.
Yeah, they did have Notre Dame winning.
Yeah, they did have Notre Dame. I don't remember the score.
Me and little OddsShark picked Notre Dame against Syracuse. But they're going Clemson 35, Notre Dame. We'll round that up from 29.6 to 30. So
35-30.
Clemson 35-30. That would smash the over of 44, which seems to have the country split here on if that's going over 44 in terms of the point total. The spread consensus, though, is heavy leaning towards Clemson. 78% believe that Clemson's going to cover that 3.5 point spread. Right. So, Tim, we'll go to you. We'll go to me first because I'm not the headliner of this video. I'm going Clemson 27, Notre Dame 24. I've got Clemson winning by 3 points, but Notre Dame covering the spread. Not that that's important, but and it is important to many people. Got Notre Dame losing a tight one at home. What say you, Mr. Hyde?
Well, let's look at a couple things as we head into this game. Number one, Notre Dame's unranked, playing the 4th-ranked team in the country. The last time Notre Dame has won as an unranked team over a top 10 team was 2004. With Mike Goolsby and that great defense in 2004 when they upset mighty Michigan that day. It's been a long time since an unranked Notre Dame team has done something like this. When you're looking at the point spread with your point and the OddsShark right there, obviously it's going to be a 1-score game. A lot of people are predicting. Since 2011, Dabo Swinney check out this stat, 35-7 in 1-score games. 35-7, which to me shows culture, a program that believes they're going to win, that is going to do everything they can to win that football game. They're going to play 60 minutes. And they have a belief system. And I just think that's going to be the key in this game. I've said it way back 8 months ago when we were talking about this season, where I thought Dabo Swinney was going to come into this game 8-0. I thought they're going to have a chip on their shoulder this year because everybody thinks they're down and they're playing really good football. It's a heck of a football team. I'm going to do a 1-score game as well. And I'm going to go with Dabo and Clemson. I'm going to go 29-24 Clemson in this ball game.
Yeah, Clemson's 8-0, but I think they've struggled a little bit more than people thought. Being outplayed for most of the game in Syracuse. It was overtime against Wake Forest.
Yep.
Both of those games. No, wait. Wake Forest is on the road, and I think Syracuse is at home. So Notre Dame Stadium, Irish fans needs to be rocking. Needs to be a crazy atmosphere for the Fighting Irish to. Not that it's little old Notre Dame, because it's definitely not little old Notre Dame. I mean, Fighting Irish. have some darn good players, but
Yes.
it's going to need to be rocking for Notre Dame to pull out that victory for sure. Drew Pine's going to need to play well. And yeah, that's the 3 keys in the score prediction. So please do hit that thumbs up before you get out of here. Head to blueandgold.com for all your Notre Dame football coverage. Subscribe to our channel, of course, and we'll catch you next time.